I can't believe we finally found it. We were searching out here forever, it seems. But is this what we were expecting? But first, let's roll back to where this all started. We left our camp spot in Fruta searching for some good boondocking opportunities, of which we had a few in mind. We researched Capitol Reef Overflow, but rather preferred Beas Lewis Flat. This was a Sunday afternoon, and we were hoping that there would not be too many campers there. We were not disappointed at all. The views were stunning, and we think we got the best spot in the area. Looking out over Water Pocket Fold, we felt very privileged to be here. You do need to check the maps, as the road leading in is on private land and you cannot camp near the entrance. Ours may in fact be one of the first legal campsites. The green foliage contrasts sharply against the red rocks and dirt, making for just wonderful views. On top of that, this area has excellent Verizon signal, and we didn't need to deploy Starlink. Being springtime, we didn't mind that there was no shade. It was helpful for the solar, but I suspect it gets pretty warm here in the summertime. You can see there's almost nobody around, but that would change. We took a short drive to check out the surrounding area. Outside of the national park by about 10 miles, the dispersed camping area is very close to Torrey. We'll visit that later on. There are a number of hotels and eateries in the area. Some looked quite nice. And the rock formations were fascinating. You could hike for hours out here. Here you can glimpse just a bit of Capitol Reef Overflow camping. This is closer to the park entrance, but we preferred the area we were at. There's a good amount of agriculture happening out here as well, and in fact this appears to be a buffalo ranch. What a view they have. And the farmhouse is not too shabby either. I bet that's even prettier when the trees have leaves. The river meanders back and forth here, unsure of what direction it wants to take. When we got back to camp, we were in for a surprise. We had neighbors. Everyone was quite civil, however, and we all got along just fine. There's a lot of space out here, so nobody was cramped. Later, we headed south on Highway 12 toward the Anasazi village. The word Anasazi is often translated as the Ancient Ones in Navajo language and refers to Native American peoples that lived in the area between 200 and 1300 AD. The drive down is very scenic, and there are a number of overlooks that afford majestic views of the Grand Staircase Escalante. Let's take a quick peek at Larb Hollow Overlook. The overlook sits at about 8,600 feet in altitude and has sweeping views of the Water Pocket Fold and Capitol Reef National Park. Highway 12 was designated an All-American Road in 2002, which puts it in pretty prestigious company. There are only 64 roads designated as such in the U.S., and it is the highest designation a road can have here. It is truly breathtaking. Eventually, we made our way down to the Anasazi State Park, which has a nice museum you can visit to learn more about the people. And they have RV parking available, which is nice. Here you will learn about how they built with adobe both above and below surface, as well as about their artwork and culture. The Coombs site was occupied from about 1050 AD through 1275, and they have some reconstructed rooms you can see here. The Anasazi mysteriously left this region around 1300. There is a lot of speculation as to why, however, no solid answers exist today. There's a nice little trail out back, and you can view some of the ruins on this short stroll, including a life-size replica. Some of the ruins are covered, which is probably welcome during the warmer summer months. If you're hungry, they had a little food truck, which appeared to be quite popular. Heading back, we climbed high into the Fish Lake National Forest, and the snow was still quite deep. Although well into spring, it looked like a winter wonderland up here. Well, we're getting hungry, so let's head back to camp and fix that. We found ourselves with a bottle of sweet and sour sauce, so we decided to make sweet and sour shrimp. Basically, just a combination of stuff we had lying around. Cook the shrimp first, then pull them off so they don't overcook. We almost always have carrots and onions on hand. Don't forget the garlic. And although unorthodox, the asparagus worked out quite well. Mushrooms are always good. And hit it with some crushed Thai chilies. Add the shrimp back in, sauce it, and you're done. Dinner in just a few minutes. The next day, we decided to head up to Fish Lake. We are unsure of what these circular patterns are. They look quite unusual. If you know, please leave us a comment below. Fish Lake sits at an altitude of 8,800 feet, and as you can see, there was still a lot of snow on the ground. And the lake was frozen over solid. We had heard the drive around the lake was beautiful, and although probably more so in summertime, we headed out to see it for ourselves. But that was short-lived. So we turned around and headed on back. Fortunately, we were not trying to camp around here. This area looks like it's pretty active during the season, but this was not yet the season. There are some really nice summer homes in the area, with splendid views of what many consider the gem of Utah. Maintaining these must be difficult, given the amount of snow they get every year. As the largest natural mountain lake in Utah, Fish Lake is a respectable size at 313 acres. With a name like Fish Lake, you expect the angling to be pretty good here, and from what I've heard it is. It was too early for me to verify this for myself, however. Although our tour of Fish Lake was cut short by the road closure, it was still great to see this area. As we often do, we had booked a reservation in an RV park close by so we could enjoy full hookups for a few days before heading back. This allows us to dump our tanks and not be so concerned with power or water usage, i.e. military showers. For this location, we chose Wonderland RV Park, which we had read good reviews of. It was just a few miles from where we had been boondocking and was quite convenient. The park was clean and well organized, and it was very easy to get into our pull-through site, and the rates were reasonable too. The sites, although not giant, are adequately sized for any RV, and the facilities worked perfectly. They also rent cabins, and you can even stay in a covered wagon, which is a great option if you are meeting non-RVers here. You can get ice, propane, and other necessities in the office, and they also have a good collection of souvenirs as well. You can even view buffalo on the nearby ranch. For lunch, we hit up Autentico Street Tacos in the small town of Torrey.
Yeah, if you have questions, let me know.
Barbacoa.
Yeah.
And you can mix these?
Yeah, absolutely. So it comes with 2 tacos, so feel free to mix and match whatever tacos you want.
Do you want those two?
Sure.
And the barbacoa?
We found them next to the Wild Rabbit, but I think with that bright yellow trailer, you should have no problem spotting them as you drive through town. As we live quite close to the Mexican border, we can attest to the authenticity of these tacos. They were delicious. And speaking of the Wild Rabbit, if you get a chance, you should definitely stop in here. They have delicious breakfast entrees, sandwiches, as well as fresh baked bread and pastries. In the same building, you have Colorridge ice cream, which we did not try but heard really good things about, and also Shooke coffee roasters. Shooke roasts their own coffee beans right here, and you can definitely taste the difference. You can grab a cup from the Wild Rabbit. We strongly recommend you drop in and say hi to Larry, Beth, Brooke, and Sean if you are in the area. One of our bucket list items for this trip was locating and filming the Angel of Death, a rock formation near Hanksville, which is about 30 miles east of Capitol Reef National Park on the 24. Nearby is the area known as Blue Valley, due to the blue-gray soil colored by bentonite clay and Mancos shale. We stopped by briefly to look at the ghost town of Giles. A farming town established in the 1880s, it was eventually abandoned in the early 1900s after numerous floodings of the Fremont River. It turns out it was a great place to grow crops, but impossible to manage the water supply. Just a few miles beyond that was where we had marked our turnoff for the Angel of Death, though we did not have high confidence in our route. We turned left off the highway and entered a well-used dirt road. Unsure of where our destination was, we figured we would explore and use the drone if necessary to locate it. The only problem was, there were many different roads out here and we had no idea which one to take. Fortunately, the weather had dried up over the last week or two and the roads were moderately firm. I can't imagine getting stuck out here in the mud. There was no cell service, and I imagine the nearest tow truck would be in Hanksville. We saw nobody out here on these roads. After driving further than we expected, we decided to put the drone up and have a look around. Each mile had us less certain we were on the right path. We weren't supposed to have to go this far. Back closer to the highway, there was some cell signal, but it had disappeared out here and the map I was using was no longer viable. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't we bring a paper map? And we should have. It just looked like this was not going to be that hard to locate. Eventually, we gave up and turned around. Clearly, our destination was not out here. As we got within cell service again, we realized our destination was a bit west of us, so we looked for roads heading that way. Using the drone, we were able to confirm that location and locate a road to take us there. As we approached, we spotted the first vehicle we had seen out here. We took that as a good sign. They appeared to be leaving. We expected to be able to drive right to the Angel of Death, but BLM has the area shut down to vehicular traffic, so you have to walk the last mile or so. Not a problem. This area is a natural stone amphitheater, which partly explains why it's tricky to find if you've not been here. Our first destination was not the Angel of Death. Instead, we saw, wait for it, Long Dong Silver. We can only speculate how this rock got its name, but that's what it's known as. Apparently, some folks like to climb this tower, though it has a reputation of being unstable. As one poster put it on mountainproject.com, as you hammer on pins, the other side of the tower continuously falls off. I think I'll pass. It's not clear that climbing is allowed on the rock anymore. I've seen some discussion on various websites that indicates it might be shut down due to erosion concerns. I guess people like to get all the way up to the top and stand on that little spire. We'll view it from the drone camera, thank you. This is truly stunning scenery amidst the San Rafael swell, and the day was almost perfect. The weather was in the high 70s, which was nice considering the snowy drives of the prior days. Here we gaze out upon the desert on the other side of these rock walls, where we were originally attempting to navigate. It's easy to see why we could not find our way in now. It would be fantastic to camp up here. The only problem is, how do you get there? Let's just sit back and appreciate the beauty of this area for a bit. After we finished with Long Dong Silver, we headed back towards our original destination, the Angel of Death. Angel of Death is more symmetrical in nature, and to my eyes looks almost like a medieval castle. It seems more enigmatic and out of place here, which fits its name, I guess. I just love this view of the Angel of Death in the foreground against the Henry Mountains covered in snow in the background. MountainProject.com's Crux 5 reads, "Going from the ledge to the top, pulling on seemingly solid cap rock when it suddenly pops off with your hand clenched around it. If that doesn't make you want to climb it, I don't know what will." Here's a closer view of the Henry Mountains in the background. We're going to make our way back now and get ready to go pick up the trailer and head out. Here you can see the road we should have turned in on. That would take us directly to the area. Note the gate with a bull skull on top. But also note the shoulder here is pretty deep and you'll want to drive up a little ways so you can get on the road safely. Well, thank you for watching this video with us. This concludes our spring trip through northern Arizona and southern Utah. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving us a like and also subscribing for more content like this. We'll see you next time.